Professor Muhammad Yunus is an extraordinary man, a beacon of hope and a symbol of relentless dedication. He is a visionary leader who has dedicated his life to fighting poverty, tirelessly working to uplift the most vulnerable. Born in Bangladesh, he witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of poverty on individuals and communities, seeing the struggles and hardships that many face daily. As an economics professor, he understood the limitations of traditional banking systems in reaching the poorest of the poor, recognizing that these systems often excluded those who needed help the most. Professor Yunus dared to challenge conventional wisdom, and in doing so, ignited a global movement for economic and social justice, proving that innovative thinking could lead to profound change. Professor Yunus's journey is an inspiration to us all, a testament to what can be achieved when one person decides to make a difference. He teaches us that even the most entrenched problems can be overcome with innovation, compassion, and unwavering determination, showing that no challenge is insurmountable. His life's work is a testament to the power of one person to make a difference in the world, demonstrating that individual actions can lead to global impact. He is a true hero of our time, a figure whose contributions will be remembered for generations to come. Professor Yunus's story is not just about numbers and statistics, but about the human spirit and the transformative power of opportunity. It is about real people whose lives have been transformed by his vision, individuals who have found hope and a path out of poverty. It is about the woman who used a small loan to start her own business, lifting her family out of poverty and creating a better future for her children. It is about the young entrepreneur who created jobs in his community, sparking a ripple effect of economic growth and prosperity. Professor Yunus's legacy is one of hope, empowerment, and the unwavering belief in the potential of every human being, a legacy that continues to inspire and motivate. His work has shown us that poverty is not inevitable, but a challenge that can be met with the right tools and mindset. It is a problem that can be solved, a challenge that can be overcome with collective effort and innovative solutions. It is a challenge that we can overcome together, united in our commitment to creating a better, more equitable world for all. From a young age, Muhammad Yunus exhibited a thirst for knowledge. His curiosity knew no bounds, and he was often found with his nose buried in books, exploring the vast realms of science, literature, and history. His family and teachers quickly recognized his exceptional intellect and encouraged his academic pursuits. Alongside his academic brilliance, Yunus also displayed a deep empathy for those less fortunate. He was not just a scholar, but a compassionate soul who felt the pain of others as his own. This empathy was evident in his interactions with the poor and marginalized communities around him. He excelled in his studies, eventually earning a PhD in economics from Vanderbilt University in the United States. His time at Vanderbilt was marked by rigorous academic training and exposure to diverse economic theories. He was not just a student but a thinker, constantly questioning and seeking deeper understanding. Upon returning to his homeland, Bangladesh, he joined the faculty of Chittagong University. Here, he quickly established himself as a brilliant and compassionate educator. His lectures were not just about economic theories, but also about their real-world applications and implications. Professor Yunus was deeply troubled by the poverty he witnessed around him. The stark contrast between the economic theories he taught in the classroom and the harsh realities faced by millions in his country was a constant source of distress for him. He couldn't ignore the stark contrast between the economic theories he taught in the classroom and the harsh realities faced by millions in his country. The poverty-stricken areas of Bangladesh were a far cry from the theoretical models of prosperity and growth. He felt a profound responsibility to bridge this gap and use his knowledge to make a tangible difference in the lives of the poor. The more he thought about it, the more he realized that traditional economic models were not enough. Driven by a deep sense of purpose, Professor Yunus ventured outside the confines of academia. He believed that real change could only come from understanding the ground realities. He immersed himself in the villages surrounding Chittagong, seeking to understand the root causes of poverty. He spent countless hours talking to villagers, learning about their struggles and aspirations. He listened intently to the stories of struggling farmers, artisans, and women who were trapped in a cycle of debt and despair. Their stories were heart-wrenching, but they also revealed a resilience and determination that inspired Yunus. These experiences were a turning point in Professor Yunus's life. He realized that the solutions to poverty lay not in grand economic theories, but in simple, practical interventions that could empower individuals. He realized that traditional economic models, with their emphasis on collateral and credit history, were failing to address the needs of the poorest members of society. The banking system was not designed for the poor, it was designed for those who already had resources. He envisioned a new approach, one that was built on trust, dignity, and the recognition of the untapped potential within every human being. This vision led to the birth of microfinance, a revolutionary concept that provided small loans to the poor without the need for collateral. Through microfinance, Yunus aimed to empower individuals, especially women, to start their own businesses and break free from the cycle of poverty. His innovative approach not only provided financial support, but also instilled a sense of confidence and self-worth in the borrowers. Muhammad Yunus's journey from a curious young boy to a pioneering economist and social entrepreneur is a testament to the power of knowledge and empathy. His life is a shining example of how one person's dedication to learning and compassion can transform the lives of millions. The year was 1976. Bangladesh was still reeling from a devastating famine. The country was in a state of despair, with countless families struggling to survive amidst the widespread poverty and hunger. Professor Yunus, deeply moved by the plight of the villagers he had befriended, decided to take action. He was a professor of economics, but he knew that traditional economic theories were not enough to address the immediate needs of these people. He encountered a group of women in the village of Jobra who were struggling to make ends meet. These women were hardworking and determined, yet they were trapped in a cycle of poverty that seemed impossible to break. They were skilled bamboo stool weavers, but they lacked the small amount of capital needed to purchase raw materials and escape the clutches of exploitative moneylenders. These moneylenders charged exorbitant interest rates, making it nearly impossible for the women to save any money or improve their situation. Professor Yunus decided to conduct a simple experiment. He wanted to see if a small loan could make a significant difference in the lives of these women. He personally lent a small sum of money, just $27, to 42 women in the village. This was a modest amount, but it was enough to buy the raw materials they needed to start their own businesses. This small loan, provided without any collateral or complicated paperwork, allowed the women to buy bamboo and weave stools independently. They no longer had to rely on the moneylenders, and they could sell their products at a fair price. They were able to sell their products at a fair price, repay their loans in full, and most importantly, earn a sustainable income for themselves and their families. This newfound financial independence gave them a sense of pride and hope for the future. This simple act of lending a helping hand had a profound impact. It not only improved the economic situation of these women, but also empowered them to take control of their lives and make decisions for their families. It sparked a revolution in thinking about poverty alleviation. Professor Yunus's experiment showed that even the poorest individuals could be reliable borrowers if given the chance. Professor Yunus realized that access to small loans, even tiny amounts, could empower individuals, particularly women, to break free from the cycle of poverty. This insight was revolutionary and challenged the traditional banking system, which often ignored the needs of the poor. This marked the birth of microfinance, a revolutionary concept that would go on to transform millions of lives around the world. Microfinance provided a way for the poor to access financial services, start businesses, and improve their living conditions. Professor Yunus's experiment in Jobra village challenged the conventional wisdom of the time. It demonstrated that the poor were not inherently unreliable borrowers. Instead, they simply needed access to financial resources that were tailored to their needs. It demonstrated that the poor were not inherently unreliable borrowers. They simply lacked access to financial services that met their needs. By providing small loans, microfinance institutions could help the poor build businesses, create jobs, and improve their communities. They simply lacked access to financial services that met their needs. Microfinance offered a solution by providing small, manageable loans that could be repaid in a way that was sustainable for the borrowers. This groundbreaking idea, rooted in compassion and a deep understanding of the realities of poverty, laid the foundation for a global movement. Today, microfinance institutions operate in countries all over the world, helping millions of people lift themselves out of poverty and build better futures for their families.